About to see a red light. First of 9. Light blinks. Arts Object still dancing about. Once loaded. Gates are back and they're away. G. Patchy start. Set Me Up missed at 4 lengths and Sizzling Gel missed at 7. Midnight in Tokyo bounced well with Apophis. Lost in Transit going forward to the centre. And shortly after the start, Lost in Transit just from Apophis. Standing order in 3rd spot. Midnight in Tokyo 4th. Swiss Exile 5th into that first bend. Just off those Safe Work. Spooky Spirit rolling with the flow. Then followed Full Recognition. Now Parade settles down with 3 behind it. Arts Object 4 lengths away. Sizzling Gel and Set Me Up down the side of the track. And in front of the inside, Lost in Transit. Narrowly leads from Apophis a long head away. Swiss Exile 3 out before the bend. Midnight in Tokyo 4th with Standing Order 5th of the centre. Then Spooky Spirit Parade with 5 lengths to make up. McDonald gets to the favourite to the outside now. Then rolling with the flow and Safe Work. Swiss Exile hit the front. Midnight in Tokyo back to the far side. And here's Parade joining in towards the 200 metres mark. Parade moved up, struck the front from Swiss Exile and Midnight in Tokyo. Parade is starting to draw clear. Now 100 metres left to run. And Parade is going to be way too good for them in the first. The favourite really put the shoulder into them late and won it by 4. Swiss Exile second, Midnight in Tokyo third. Temra 4, Standing Order or Spooky Spirit. Then followed Safe Work, Lost in Transit, Apophis. Further back, Sizzling Gel, who passed a few after an average getaway, including Rolling with the Flow, Arts Object, Full Recognition and Set Me Up.
Well, the punters were spot on there with Parade, very heavily backed in the opening event today, and he has had a stroll in the park. Swiss Exile just gets that second spot ahead of his stablemate Midnight in Tokyo, and just waiting for 4th. It looks like standing order ahead of Spooky Spirit on the outside. I think you can clearly see coming towards the home bend, they were really getting into the track. We'll have a look at the head-on in a few moments' time and just have a closer look at the track surface. This fellow was back. James took him back, got cover, pushed Full Recognition out of the way at about the 700, and he's maintained a strong gallop around the field to get up. So that's the picture, the beautiful wide expanses of the Sunshine Coast track here. And we'll have a look at the time details for you in a few moments' time. But Parade has been far too good for them in the opening event on the card. Now 1:12.85 it is, 36.29. So Bernie, punters with a fill up there in the opening event on the card.
Yeah, great start for James Cummings. Lester Proctor is here with a big smile on his face. Always nice to start the day with a winner, and this guy was very impressive.
Yep, he come up here in perfect order, and he's done so well while he's been up here.
Obviously, set of 4 pairs back, 1 off the fence. You could see James always desperate to get right out onto the top of that crown.
Yeah, he didn't want to be near that inside. It's pretty wet out there.
Do you know what's sort of in store for this guy throughout the carnival? What races they might be targeting?
We'll see how he pulls up, and we'll just map something out.
And how long are you staying up in Queensland yourself?
Yeah, for about a month, and then I'll head back, and then someone else will come up. Yeah.
Nice work. A little bit of tag teaming. Enjoy the win.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there he is, Lester Proctor, looking after Team Godolphin. We'll get J-Mac's thoughts. He's an impressive-looking horse. He's built like a tank. And I guess it looked as though James McDonald really keen to get him to switch off in the early stages. He ploughed through the mud. It was never a problem. And you would think some better races in store for this guy, particularly here in Queensland. So let's get J-Mac's thoughts. Well done. Nice to start the day with a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a really nice horse. He does everything really well, and once he switches off, he's got a lethal turn of foot, so it was good to use that.
And you looked like you were keen to sort of settle back where you were?
Yeah, give him a chance anyway. That was my instructions, and come with one run at them, but he did a good job. It's testing work.
I think you Kiwis are the best judges of wet tracks. Where do we put this?
Yeah, it's well up there, but to be fair to them, it's got a beautiful, safe ground. It's just extremely, extremely heavy, so it's going to be very testing on the horses, but cover of grass is fantastic, and I'm sure it'll race well if you're handling it.
Back to man, very solid. 9-11-1-6.
And here's Mitch.
Last year. Set to run. Gates are back, and they're on their mile-and-a-half journey. Pretty level dispatch away. Contrition, Bonnie Ezra, and also Tapple Doodle Doo going back shortly after the break. Rhodes in the centre of the line, a slender leader from Bois de Jaunt and Red Wave right up there. Not far away as Rattle and Hum, and back demands a prominent fifth after the completion of 300 metres. Giddy Gan's Joy around midfield with Tappy's Lad towards the inside. Then Bonnie Ezra, third to last. 2 lengths away, Tapple Doodle Doo. And a similar margin away to Contrition last of all. 1,800 metres left to run as they head out of the straight. And Bois de Jaunt has gone to the lead with his big impost of 61 kilos. Ryan Maloney's taken him to the top. Bois de Jaunt leads by a length. Red Wave in second. Rattle and Hum is travelling in third, leaders back. 2 lengths away to Rhodes, fourth, and then followed back to Band, 50 inside. 2.5 away, Giddy Gan's Joy. 1.5 Bonnie Ezra. Tappy's Lad, Tapple Doodle Doo. And Contrition is last and now finds himself 3 deep. 1,400 metres left to run. Bois de Jaunt the leader, almost 2 lengths clear from Red Wave in second, and third the inside as Rattle and Hum. 3 parts of a length away to Rhodes, and then followed back to Band, fifth. Bonnie Ezra just improving up to midfield now. Giddy Gan's Joy's lost a spot or two. Getting past it as Tapple Doodle Doo starting to slide forward. Just a fraction worse than midfield, 3 wide. Tappy's Lad and Contrition the last pair. Allowed to dictate terms in front here. Maloney on Bois de Jaunt. 1,000 metres left to run. Bois de Jaunt the leader. 3/4 clear from Red Wave in second. Little change in the order. In third, Rattle and Hum. Fourth, the outsiders, Rhodes. And then followed Bonnie Ezra. Just starting to slide forward now. Fifth, 3 deep inside the 750. Tappy's Lad going forward very wide. In company there with the stablemate, Tapple Doodle Doo. They're making their runs together in the red and white jackets. Back to man's about third last. Rhodes is starting to drop out. Contrition and Giddy Gan's Joy is last of all. Bois de Jaunt is the leader. At the home quarter, 4.25 left to run. Bonnie Ezra sidled up to him now, and Bonnie Ezra poked the bib in front of Bois de Jaunt, who's trying to rally back. They're 2 lengths clear of Tapple Doodle Doo, then followed by Red Wave, and they got clear of the others. Bonnie Ezra the leader, 200 metres left to run. They've beaten off Bois de Jaunt. Tapple Doodle Doo's the challenger to Bonnie Ezra. If any, 100 to go. It's Bonnie Ezra in front. Tapple Doodle Doo trying ever so hard. Bonnie Ezra's holding on here, and Bonnie Ezra won the Gold Coast Cup. 1.5 lengths and a real slog up the straight. Second in Tapple Doodle Doo, third Bois de Jaunt, brave with his weight. Red Wave was fourth, then Tappy's Lad. Next in was Contrition, back to Band, Giddy Gan's Joy. Rhodes and Rattle and Hum will both sleep well tonight. They were the last 2 in.
Yes, and they came in at long intervals behind Bonnie Ezra and Tapple Doodle Doo. Big gap back to Bois de Jaunt. Just holding down third there under his big weight. And then Red Wave, who was up there handy. And then we're seeing Tappy's Lad and Contrition. But Bonnie Ezra was back in the field, seemingly travelling strongly with cover, and Jimmy Byrne has brought him with a big run in the straight. Tapple Doodle Doo was weaving a passage, coming towards the home bend and presented as the big challenger. He fought hard, Tapple Doodle Doo, but Bonnie Ezra, revelling in the heavy track conditions, has been able to maintain a decent margin up the running and registers his 6th win. He's a rising 9-year-old by Road to Rock, this guy. Jimmy Byrne in the saddle for Chris Waller. Blinkers were back on today and they took the brow band off the winner. And prior to today, he had good stats on the heavy. 7 goes, 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third. Tapple Doodle Doo good. So too the toppy under the big weight. Red Wave, a well-beaten 4th. Bernie?
Yeah, thanks very much, Maxie. Brett Killian joins us for a chat now, and this is just fabulous for this rising 9-year-old. Congratulations.
Thanks, very pleasing. Old sort of, favourite of the stables. The last start was a little discouraging, but blinkers on and he's travelled stronger in the run, and he's bolting a long way out. I think Jim was pretty pleased with himself. Great to see. Great to see that wet track form really coming to the fore. I mean, there must have been 40 lengths at the death covering this field, so it's, as Jane Max said, very testing conditions. Sure is. So great to have a Kiwi in the race. Obviously anything with heavy track form you've got to take notice of today, and he does, and he was travelling through it beautifully. There's been some really nice support for Firestorm later on, but she comes up with barrier 1. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the day, though, the lottery at the moment, so we'll see how we go.
All right, good on you, Brett.
Thanks.
Yeah, there he is, Brett Killian, on behalf of Chris Waller, doing a super job with the Queensland stable there at the Gold Coast. And Bonnie Ezra, as we mentioned, great wet track form, down to 53. Fabulous for jockey Jim Byrne as well. Jim really doing well, picking up a lot of rides from interstate over the last couple of weeks, and obviously always been entwined in the Chris Waller stable. So well done to Jim. We'll get we'll have a chat with Jim rather when he gets back. Time-wise, 37.3 for the final 600, 236.56. But as you saw in that race, very testing, particularly because it's over 2,400 metres. And obviously very, very wet. Everybody looking to get to the crown, and everybody had their chance, more or less, to get to the crown, but they were so spread out that Bonnie Ezra's Rin looked ever so stylish here today. As I mentioned, Jim Byrne, he was out for some time earlier in the year. Great to see him back riding the Gold Coast Cup winner here. He will be absolutely thrilled with that, and he'll be up for any group rides over the carnival here that he can obviously get his hands on. You've got to ride the peaks and the troughs, and he's probably had a bit of a trough of late, but this will put him back on that peak, and he'll be able to carry on throughout the winter time. Let's get his thoughts now. Well done, Jim. Masterful job. Great to have you back in the winner's stall here.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. It's getting stronger. I should say it's like walking a desert. You just got to keep your head down and just focus. So, yeah, very, very pleased. Thank you.
You've always had a good association with the Waller stable. You would have been thrilled to pick up the ride when you looked at his wet track form.
Yeah, very. Obviously, Chris has got a big stable. He's got a lot of riders. He's got to show him out to a lot of riders. Completely understand, but I was able to get a lightweight opportunity and hopefully was able to make the most of it today.
You certainly have. Take us through the race.
Yeah, look, probably they didn't go real quick, so mid-race I was able to make a couple of moves early on in the run. I wasn't too worried about it from the half mile home. I was able to just get in that nice rhythm. I think he's a little bit of a cheat. So when he hit the front at the 300, I thought, well, it's going to be a slog.
But you know he's got the Chris Waller factor, and he is superior with these stayers, isn't he?
Correct, and look, his wet track form as well. Look, he hasn't been beaten too far, but sometimes they just need that little bit of extra encouragement, and things go their way, and that's why it went today.
Great job, Jim.
Thank you, Dean.
1,400 metres ahead of them. Light on. Ready. Gates are back and they're off and racing now. Thalassophile only fair into stride off the inside gate. Star of Chaos and Sonora, the first two out from Russian Warrior Gold Deal. Tajaki's riding that clump of runners fifth with Party for One on the rail. Then followed Queen Maker out wide Sebring Girl. Further back to Crazy Train, Thalassophile. Princess Rani's fourth last. Then followed by Renewed Powerful Peg and Poetic Drama's gone back to the tail. 900 metres left to run. Star of Chaos in front, 3/4 clear. Sonora in second, a length away, Gold Deal third. Russian Warrior fourth in the centre, Queen Maker 50 inside. In fact, that's Party for Two. Then followed by next the outside Tajaki, then Queen Maker. Thalassophile is close to the rail around midfield. McDonald just trying to sneak some runs through there. Sebring Girls out wide, then Crazy Train, Powerful Peg, Princess Rani's Poetic Drama, and Renufa's last of all. Up before the home quarter at the 4:25. Star of Chaos, the leader from Sonora. Back to the inside, Party for One. Gold Deal out wider with Russian Warrior. Thalassophile in between runners. Then Queen Maker. Powerful Peg running on out wider. Then followed by Poetic Drama. It's Sonora in front at the 200 metres mark. Russian Warrior. Thalassophile getting through. Back close to the inside. And look at Princess Rani's is getting through as well. Thalassophile's at the front though. 75 to go. And Thalassophile 60 in all. Too good. Thalassophile beat either Poetic Drama or Princess Rani's. Fourth Renoof, and then Russian Warrior Sonora. Next in Queen Maker. Further back to Star of Chaos. Tajaki never came on. Party for One towards the tail end with Crazy Train. Gold Deal was one of the last ones to clock in with Sebring Girl, and I reckon that's the lot of them.
All right, Mitch, yeah, she's beaten them comfortably, giving them weight all round, with the exception of Princess Rainey. She was giving 6 and 7 kilos away there, but there's no substitute at all for class. And in a race like this at listed level, she had to overcome the inside barrier, the big weight. McDonald had to sort of play the waiting game. He ended up getting a gap about 5 horses off the rails, up the running, and we know that she's a strong finisher. He puts a couple behind the saddle and she moves away from them over the final part. I think Poetic Drama at a big price might just get second there from Princess Rainey's, and then Renouf. As we have a look at the head-on vision in the home straight, 36.65 was the last split, 126.92. So you can see the winner, Thalassophile, being wound up by McDonald. He now goes for it, and this is where she slips up into another gear and puts a little bit of a gap on them over the final part. The daughter of Not a Single Doubt, trained by Chris Waller, has won her 6th race at start 33. She hadn't won in 13 starts, Bernie, but she's always been there running on at a pretty high level.
Yeah, a great bunch of mares, that's for sure. But as you mentioned, the Thalassophile giving them all weight and giving them a galloping lesson as well. Let's have a chat with stable rep Brett Killing, stable foreman, I should say. And that's 2 for the day already. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Just class there. Class horse. She was able to carry the weight, and James plotted a perfect path.
Yeah, she jumped from barrier 1. I mean, it could look really ugly. Obviously, they're all moving out, but she's on the inner until she can get to the out. But when you're a professional mudlark, as she is, she made it look easy.
It was perfect because, we're going to be stepping up in trip. So drawing 1, we didn't want to bustle her. But, no one wanted to cross early, so she had, kind of 2 furlong, and she found herself within 4 of the leaders halfway through the race, and, that just put her in the right spot.
You've got a couple of 2-year-olds in the next race, or Althoff, is it?
Yeah, got Althoff. He got up here this week. He's a very nice colt. Obviously, we don't know how he's going to be on this track, but we'll see how we go.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have a quick chat now with J-Mac. That's 2 winners on the board for him. He's just giving a rundown to the owners. Let's have a chat. This girl just keeps on turning up. J-Mac, she's a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. She is. She ploughed through the wet conditions as well, but credit to her, 60 kilos, big effort, so she's in for a good prep.
Gave them all weight, had the inside gate, no problem.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well done.
Thanks.
Memorial Classic. 1,200 metres. Light on. Sets and they're racing now. Territory Ash, Pulpit, and also Beau Dazzler out the back shortly after the break. Ballasteer bounce well with Silver and Suave. Gin and Tonic coming across from the deep draw. Now settling just off those in 4th as El Toff lobbed in a good position early. Frobel Star with it, then followed by on the inside next Volatile around 7 in that first bend. Further back to Kalua Koi and then Super Alloy. On the inside is Barbaric Lad who's on the improve. Further back is Aquaholic, then Zula, Jamoma El Pelage back 5th last in the run. Then Territory Ash, Beau Dazzler as they head up towards the home corner. Runaway Tycoon second to last and Pulpit sees the ball. The big field of 2-year-olds up towards the home bed at the 400 metres mark. Bella steered just from Silver and Suave. 3 out Gin and Tonic. Volatile back to their inside with Frobel Star behind those. And Eltoff gets to the outside. Then Barbaric Lad and Alpha Bravo heads the others. Eltoff's hit the front at the 200 metres mark. Got the better of Silver and Suave and Gin and Tonic still there in the centre. It's Eltoff just in front of Silver and Suave and Gin and Tonic trying to rally back. Eltoff's all out. Gin and Tonic driving. Eltoff, McDonald lifts it late and he'll get in. Eltoff wins the Ken Russell just from Silver and Suave and Gin and Tonic. Kemra 4th. Right up there on the inside, Jamoma El Pelage was rattling home late. Right up there too as they crossed the line was Super Alloy and then Alpha Bravo not far away. Aquaholic, Frobel Star behind those. Volatile next in, Zula. Further back, Beau Dazzler. Towards the tail end, Pulpit, Kaluakoi, Runaway Tycoon, Barbaric Lad past a couple, Territory Ash towards the tail end.
Altoff coming down the outside. Trained by Chris Waller, ridden by James McDonald. Now, Ginatonic, who's finished third there, copped a bump. Something happened in the home straight. That's Ginatonic, 3 out. We've got Ballasteer, Silver and Suave, then Ginatonic, and Altoff on the extreme outside. So what's happened here? As they come up with about 250 metres left to go, Altoff keeping a straight course. You can see towards the inside, Ginatonic is battling on okay, and number 11, Silver and Suave, at a big price, so not a lot in it as they go down to the line there. But number 8, Altoff, has got up 8, 11, 5 and 16. Gee, the time 1:14.17 overall, 36.64 the last 600 metres. So the winner, Altoff, trained by Chris Waller, giving them another winner, James McDonald in the saddle, Bernie, and that was a tidy performance by this guide, only second start.
Yeah, that was a performance of a horse with more experience, that's for sure. He dug deep, James McDonald getting the most out of him. Let's have a chat with Brett Killian again. That's 3 for the day. Is this going to stop?
I hope not. It's nice. He's a lovely little colt. He's very laid back. So I wasn't too sure what to expect from him. They put the blinkers on him and he put himself in the race and he travelled great, and I don't know if he just got lost a bit in front or just tired late, but he did enough.
He certainly did do enough, and I guess the thing with these young horses, we never know how they're going to react on this sort of a track, do we?
You don't know, but after about 400 metres you can sense they're travelling. He's on the bit a long way and cruised up, and providing all pulls up well, we'll probably head on to the size, I think.
And given his attitude, that distance shouldn't be a problem.
No, he does everything you need him to do. He switches off, and he's got a lovely turn of foot.
Well done.
Thanks.
That's 3 for Chris Waller. We'll have another chat with James McDonald. There's also 3 for him here today, so he is absolutely on fire as usual, and he's a lovely colt. He's by Written Tycoon out of a Magnus mare, Miss Saint Trapeze. So well done, J-Mac. Another on the board, and he's, as Brett Killian said, he looked to be travelling the entirety.
Yeah, he did. He's a real professional horse who's beautiful action. He got through the ground okay because he's obviously won, but dare I say, I think he's got a real fluent action, so anything on top of the ground will be up his alley. But he's a very talented horse, very well educated, and he did everything well today.
With a lovely attitude.
He does, yeah. Well, that's testing work, so you need good constitution. He's tough, so bodes well for the future.
Well done.
1,200 metres. Race 5, Sunshine Coast. Ready. Racing now. Gee, perfect dispatch away, apart from the favourite Mullane, who drifts back shortly after the start and will be last. Zarastro, a clear leader early on by a length to at Wits End. Yellow Brick is coming across from his wide draw up to third, 4 wide at the moment with Ned's Gully in the centre. Cryptocurrency, Natuno close to the inside midfield, and then Sir Warwick drifting back. Irish Songs, the big goodbye, third to last. Freedom Rally, 2 lengths away. Mullane is last of all. Zarastro is the leader at a modest gallop, controlled speed, a half clear at Wits End second. Third, Ned's Gully, Yellow Brick doing it tough out wide, and then followed Irish Songs. Natuno back closer to the inside. Cryptocurrency dropping ground to the outside as Sir Warwick, then the big goodbye. Freedom Rally and Mullane are going to cut the corner. 400 metres left to run. Zarastro in front, about a half clear from Ned's Gully back to the far side. Still there is at Wits End. Yellow Brick trying to close down on that pair, and then followed by Irish Songs. There's no Freedom Rally or Mullane at the moment. At Wits End, the leader, 100 metres left to run from Yellow Brick. It's at Wits End, holding on here from Yellow Brick, and at Wits End will hold on. At Wits End beat Yellow Brick. Freedom Rally got going very late to grab third. Irish Songs fourth, then Mullane, the big goodbye, Ned's Gully. Zarastro dropped out of it. Cryptocurrency, Sir Warwick and Natuno has run last.
Well, what an incredible story with this horse at Wits End. Daniel Bowen, the trainer. Yellow Brick, very good first up. Freedom Rally getting third, and then Irish Songs, and Mullane was last, tried to cut the corner. He was down towards the inside there, followed by the big goodbye, but There was a lone cheerer in the grandstand. I think it might have been Daniel Bowen. Sam Collett, the jockey. The turnaround in form of this guy has been nothing short of extraordinary. Bernie, you've told us the story before how I think Daniel bought this guy for very little money, and he's just grown a leg. He's found a new lease on life at Wits End. He's a good old boy. He's rising 9. That's his 13th win at Start 62 and the biggest win of his career.
Just extraordinary, Maxie. The highlight of the day, without a doubt, will be have been able to watch Danny cheering this home. You were a solo cheerer there, and it was just brilliant to watch, cheering your old boy, in your words, home.
Oh, amazing. I'm shaking. Yeah, look, he's just a special old horse. I mean, you think that today, he's been going good and he's got to get to this level and you're a bit apprehensive, but I thought the way he was going, if he could get into some listed races, the start of the carnival, when other horses, like today, a lot of the good ones had 60, he got him with 53. He handled the wet. The barrier probably was good for him eventually, but I'm shaking.
What's been the trick? You bought him online for $10,000 as a rising 9-year-old.
I don't know. You tell me.
What do you do with him?
Oh, he's just the same as any other horse I train. I don't know.
Sometimes it's just a change is all they need.
Oh, yeah. He's just an amazing old horse.
What are you going to do with him now?
Oh, I think I wasn't sure about today if he was going to need, I was a bit worried he was going to need the run, but I was going to run him in the Chief De Beers, and then there's the Hinkler. Yep. No, just listed, and then maybe the Ramornie, but nice. Yeah, and then someone in the Kosciuszko. Give us a go. Give
us a leg up there. Enjoy the win. Well done. Danny Bowen's done just a superb job. I can't wait to talk to Sammy Collett. As Danny said, he had just 53 here today. And as Maxie said in the Mountie Yard, a win would not surprise. He's just going that well at the moment. But obviously it was an incredibly competitive race. But in these sorts of conditions, you just never know what you're going to get. I mean, the Tuno, he'd won 2 from 3 on heavy tracks. He runs last here today. So it's just impossible, really, to work them out here today. As Maxie said, win number 13, start number 62, 17 minor placings in the mix. Never won on a heavy track prior to today. He'd won 4 of 19 on a soft. He'd had 6 goes on a heavy for a second and 3/3. So on that, you'd say, he sort of handles it, but he's not really a mudlarker. I mean, he had a good horse chasing him down there in Yellow Brick. What a great return that was for Yellow Brick. He's in for a great winter campaign, but you've just got to admire the courage of this horse at Wits End, a rising 9-year-old, bought for 10 grand online. Look at Danny Bowen. He just adores him. Probably Danny's biggest win to date, along with the horse's win. He looks immaculate, and he's been able to salute. There's a lot of love flowing here between these two, and I'm pretty sure Sammy will be in there in the mix there as well. She's ridden this horse his last 2 starts, both at Doomben, beaten by R&T last time, but fending them off here today. See, these are the great stories of racing, to be honest. Watching Danny cheer this horse on was just spine-chilling. It was extraordinary, and it was a real pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Let's get Sammy's thoughts now. More photos. Let's have a chat first. Best win of the day. We watched him cheer him on with enormous vigour like you've never seen before. It was just unbelievable.
It's so wholesome for me because, I've only ridden a handful of horses for Daniel, and he doesn't train many, but they always look so fantastic, and this horse was no exception today. I was pleased he was fit because I've just come back from 5 days in Bali, so he was carrying me the last bit, but he's had to do a little bit more than I would have liked from the wide draw, and I was also mindful he's probably had a little bit of time between runs. He's an older boy, he's a bit gross.
Well, Danny thought he might need the run.
Yeah, well, I was also a bit mindful of that myself. However, Zoroaster probably just, fell by the wayside quicker than I thought. It was all up to him, but he dug so deep. He looks fantastic and he's racing accordingly.
And the love you see that Danny's got for this horse. He bought him for 10 grand and he's taking him on this wild ride.
It's just, and he's the most beautiful horse to ride too, He just wants to stand there and take it all in, and you wouldn't think the way he meanders around behind the barriers that he would get out of his own way at all, but happy horse, and he's just racing fantastically well.
Yeah, and he's going to keep in place at just these listed sort of grade races. He might win a few more.
Oh, for sure. The way he's going, it's he's well capable of it.
Well done.
Thanks.
Just a bit of movement. They look right.
Yours, Dougie.
Sets in their racing now. Roll on High missed it. She came out last. Salui the first one into stride from Safrado showing speed up into second spot. Just off those in third, Moravia. Then Zadaki and bases loaded. Cornish has got to midfield and deep at the moment. McDonald just trying to slide in there, one off. Then Benice's Spirit. Next is Jungle Prince. Further back, Deep Respect and Roll on High as last. Into that first bend, 800 metres left to run. Salui in front, 3/4 clear from Safrado. Much closer today. In third, Moravia. Fourth, the outside, bases loaded. Zadaki just off those with Cornish. They're midfield together. A length and a half to Jungle Prince, and then follow Benice's Spirit. Roll on High, starting to get on her bike. She's got past Deep Respect. Around the home quarter, it's Salui in front, 3/4 clear from Safrado. Moravia trying to go through in between runners to the outside. Cornish is just labouring for the moment. Then bases loaded. Roll on High can't get to them. Safrado's hit the front here at the 200. Moravia trying to rally back in the centre. Then followed Cornish and Salui. It's Safrado in front. He's wayward. He's just in front. Cornish is driving hard, and Cornish is going right over the top. Cornish beats Safrado and Salui. Fourth in Moravia, then bases loaded. Zadaki, Roll on High, never got warm. Jungle Prince towards the tail end with Deep Respect, who was one of the last ones to clock in with Benice's Spirit.
3, 1, 4 and 7. Cornish with James McDonald showing off his navigational skills there. Safrado was good there. I've never seen him like that before, Bernie, like charging in second spot behind Salou.
Yeah, you just wonder had he relaxed a little bit more in the run there. He was busy up there near the front, wasn't he? And it told on him late. He got tired, he ran out.
Yeah, and James McDonald had the choice of inside, outside, went inside him, and he has finished best. He gave them 2 lengths start with about 200 metres to go, and then Safrado shifted off, and he had ample room to come through, and he's finished actually full of running. He presented beautifully today, Cornish, and it gives the boys in blue a double, having won the first race on the card. Safrado, terrific there, second up from a spell, so the future's looking good for the carnival. Salui holding down third, and then Moravia battled on quite well, not beaten all that far. The filly Roll on High with the blinkers on. She hesitated, she missed the kick. She made a move, but then couldn't quite go on with it over the final parts.
Alrighty, thanks Maxie. Let's have another chat to Lester Proctor, and you'd be feeling pretty chuffed with your day out here so far, Lester, representing the blue team.
Yeah, it's been pretty well. We got 3 placings last weekend with 3 runners, so we're going better this weekend.
Tell me about Cornish.
It's been a good horse early. He's just had a bit of time that he just needed, so now he's had the time, he can keep growing.
What were your thoughts throughout that race? He obviously tracked the bases loaded into the straight, and then he sort of looked like he was going to let down. The leaders kicked. It looked like he wasn't going to win, but wow, how good was he late?
He had a little bit of a flat spot there, but then he just found really good. Past about 50, he just hammered home. No, it was very good. And
he was very tractable because, you had Safrado running around in front of him.
Yeah. And it just took him a bit to knuckle down, but it was good. A good win.
Any more winners for you today?
That's only 2 runners and both brothers. They're full brothers.
Well, that is a good family on a roll. Well done.
Yep, thank you very much.
All right, there is Lester. He's happy with the brothers turning up here today. And that is another winner for J-Mac. That's 4 for the day. And obviously plenty more racing to come here. Yeah, really good effort by Cornish. He's obviously got the blue blood pedigree of Fastnet Rock out of a new approach mare. And that was his 4th run from a spell this time in. Here's J-Mac again. Geez, this is the J-Mac show today.
It's nice to have one of those days, isn't it?
Especially when you've just had a new baby.
Yeah, need to earn as much as I can.
Of course you do. You'd be running out. Obviously, this horse, you got him into a great spot, 3.4 pairs back, tracked the Waterhouse horse into the race. Hit a little bit of a flat spot?
Yeah, he did. He took a while to get through his gears, but it might have something to do with the track. But saying that, he showed good tenacity late, come through the gap and fight to the end. So it was a good effort. 1400 shouldn't be a problem with him, and James has got a nice team coming up to Queensland for the carnival, and he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Get out the blue dress. Well done.
Thanks.
$4.80. Those three have it between them.
Red light.
Yeah, we're watching you.
Ready to run. Gates are back and they're off and racing now. And Just Folk was the first into stride from Osmos and Wapiti. Not far away, Jimi Hendrix, and on the rail, Naval College holding a forward spot early. Just off those is Mighty Ulysses, then Unspoken, New Marion back and wide at the moment. Kovalika settles down with three behind him. Huya Mel, Ladondavi and Huetor is last. Into the back, 1,400 metres left to run. Wapiti joined by Osmos on the outside, who just shades it for the lead now. In third spot is Jimi Hendrix. Fourth is Just Folk, securing a good run in the race. One out, one back. Naval College, 50 inside, covered up by Mighty Ulysses and New Marion. Then followed Unspoken, Ladondavi, Kovalika third last, then Huya Mel, and 2 lengths away on his lonesome last of all is Huetor. 1,100 metres left to run. It's Wapiti in front, 3/4 clear. Slip through to hold out Osmos for that leading spot. Sliding forward now, Mighty Ulysses into third now, then followed by Jimi Hendrix and Just Folk fifth of the centre. Just off those is Naval College as they go off the back at the 800. Out deeper on the course is New Marion, Ladondavi in between runners. Unspoken, Huya Mel. Kovalika still second last and Huetor still at the tail end, 8 off the leader. 550 metres left to run. Osmos really putting it to Wapiti. 3 out, Mighty Ulysses at the point of the bend. Just Folk travels strongly. New Marion hooking wider. Naval College back to the inside, then Jimi Hendrix. Kovalika trying to pick up in between runners and Huetor out wider. Osmos giving a sight here. Here's New Marion running on. Just Folk there in the centre, then followed Mighty Ulysses. New Marion struck the front here. 125 to go. New Marion dash clear from Just Folk. Kovalika getting out late, but it's all too late. New Marion, a first up crutch in the Hollandale. Annabelle's done it again. New Marion beats either Kovalika or Just Folk. Photo finish fourth. Mighty Ulysses just from Huetor. Osmos gave a sight. Further back in the field was Naval College. Towards the tail end, Wapiti, Jimi Hendrix, who was one of the last ones to clock in with Huya Mel.
Yeah, we often say, that's a good training performance, but what about that? First up since the summer. From memory, he was wide all the way, midfield. And Annabelle Neesham has provided him today pretty fit to run 1,800 metres on a very wet track, Jamie Mott Road. Look at the price, $35.20. Just Folk seemed to have his chance there. I think he's got second ahead of Kovalika. And back in fourth, Mighty Ulysses, and fifth went to Huetor. The two favourites, Kovalika and Huetor, were back second last and last, turning into the straight. But New Marion had to jump on them. He hits the lead 250 metres out and has put a gap on them, 2 lengths as they hit the line. So Just Folk has done a great job from Hawkesbury to the Sunshine Coast in the space of only a week. Well, we saw him go to Perth, Bernie. Last year he won the Ted Van Hemst, and then he was fourth in the Perth Cup. That was way back on the 1st of January, so congratulations all round to the Annabelle Neesham stable.
Absolutely an outstanding training performance, but we do know, we accept this UK woman is the master of these staying horses. Well done, Annabelle.
Oh, I love this horse so much. He's I think he's an 8-year-old, might even be 9 now, and to do that first up on a bottomless track like this, I knew he'd run well, and I said that to Jamie. I said he ran really well on a heavy 10 in the Chelmsford first up about 18 months ago, but he's just a beauty, and I'm so happy for Team Valley back in the UK because they were happy to give him one more prep. He's obviously getting a bit older, but he ran really well in Perth. But yeah, having a last prep up here and to start it off like that is fantastic.
I just love how you and Kieran and many other trainers now, but you produce these horses first up, these stayers. I mean, in years gone by, that's not something we saw in Australia. How do you do it?
Well, a big team behind me. I have to say a big thanks to David Noonan and his team down at Balnarring Beach, because he's been pre-training down there. He got through his trials being trained at the beach, and to Stretch and the team down in Melbourne, they can take most of the credit for this. He had a week in Sydney and had a trial there, so the team did a good job with him here, and then he's come up here and he comes alive up here. We saw him win the Q22. Was I suppose the second last time we saw him win. He seems to love it up here. So, and kudos to Jamie Mott as well. He rode at Cranbourne night meeting last night, and he's come up to ride for me in the first and then in this today. So I'm just glad the trip was worthwhile for him.
Extraordinary effort all round. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, let's have a chat now with Jamie. Superb job. Obviously, it's always a thrill to ride for someone like Annabelle.
Yeah, fantastic, and I can't thank her enough. And the team behind her, she's given me a great bit of support since she started training, and nice to win a nice race for her. And hopefully it's a good relationship going forward.
I'm tipping weight for age racing is your kind of style.
Well, it suits me with the weight, definitely. I was able to not have to have too much of a sweat this morning, even though I had a long night last night. I was really looking forward to riding him. He's a very good horse, and the track conditions really suited him. It was just whether or not the 1800 on such a testing track, would he be sort of up to scratch with his fitness. But Annabelle's done a fantastic job with him.
So take us through the race.
Yeah, look, he bounced really well. We were kind of racing off the fence, so I was 3 wide with a bit of cover, and Ryan Maloney on the stablemate was having a bit of difficulty with his horse. Was pulling quite hard, so I said to him, you come out and you get going, because he looked like he was in a bit of trouble. So once he did that, I sort of got his back, and I just rested the whole way, and he showed a great turn of foot on that ground.
Sailed home. Great job. Well done.
Thank you.
Let's get upstairs to Mitch Manners for the bracelet.
And we're set. Ready for a start. They're off and racing now in the bracelet. Firestorm bounced well off the inside with Red Breast, Kind Words going forward. Likewise, Exotic Miss, Amazonian Lass and Peer Pressure to make a line of 5 and 6 early. Oceans of Energy just off those with Shodra, then Miss Jolene, Mare of Mount Buller. Molly Bloom in the back half of the field early on with Race Ace. Missouri back on the inside. Further back to Bright Red and True Fairies drop to the tail. 1,300 metres left to run. Red Breast a little fired up. Leads by 3 lengths now. Exotic Miss in second spot. Third the inside as they settle down as Peer Pressure. The outside Miss Jolene. Then followed Firestorm, who's travelling in 5th position. The inside of Amazonian Lass. A length away to Shodra. Kind Words the middle. And back on the inside is Oceans of Energy. 3 parts of a length, the Mare of Mount Buller, Molly Bloom in the centre. On the rail, Mesure, and then followed Bright Red, Race 8 and Race Ace, and 2 lengths away is True Fairy. Last of all, 950 metres left to run off the back. And in front, it's Red Breast, a length and a quarter clear. Second up on the outside as they head down the side of the track is Exotic Miss, and then followed by Peer Pressure, Miss Jolene. Firestorms just off those, still around 5th with Oceans of Energy, improving underneath. Kind Words there in the centre. Amazonian Lass about to hook wider with Shodra. Mesure, Molly Bloom is caught up in traffic, only about 4 off the leader, but needs a run shortly. Mare of Mount Buller, then followed Bright Red, True Fairy, Race Ace, topping the straight. Red Breast narrowly. Up on the inside, Oceans of Energy. Miss Jolene running on. Here's Amazonian Lass. Kind Words trying for a split in the centre. 200 metres left to run. Amazonian Lass struck the front here from Miss Jolene. Oceans of Energy, and then followed Molly Bloom very late, but it's Amazonian Lass in front. A wall chase, but Amazonian Lass is home. Amazonian Lass won the bracelet. I reckon Molly Bloom second, Photo third, Mare of Mount Buller or Kind Words. Then Miss Jolene, Oceans of Energy, Exotic Miss, Bright Red, Shodra, Firestorm never came on, Mesure next in, further back as they cross the line, Race Ace, and then True Fairy and Red Breast towards the tail end.
Well, what a tough filly, Amazonian Lass for Waterhouse Bott, and Adam Hieronymus has won the Gold Coast bracelet over 1,800 metres. Adam roaring at her over the final part, and she has gone on with it. following her terrific first-up run in the Princess Stakes. We hadn't seen her since she finished 4th in the VRC Oaks, second first up, and then she wins today. Probably heads towards the Roses and then the Oaks. What about the Kiwi filly, Molly Bloom? Look at her finding Malign. She got a fair way back, Molly Bloom, in a bit of traffic, doing her best over the final part. On the outside there, Mayor of Mount Buller. Let's check the placings. It's 3 Amazonian Lass over Molly Bloom. 37.63, so a real slog the last 600. 155.36 for the 1800. Where to look? Head on here with 200 metres to go. Amazonian Lass on the outside of Miss Jolene. Oceans of Energy towards the inside. And now Molly Bloom is just starting to gather momentum with Mayor of Mount Buller on the outside. Bernie, she's a real talent, this girl.
All right, thanks very much, Maxie. Adrian Bott does join us here today. What an exciting finish that was, and what great improvement she took from that very game first-up effort.
Yeah, look, she was first up over the mile, so I always felt there was a significant amount of improvement coming here today. She's been a top-class filly all the way through, Wakeful winner in the Carnival down in the spring, and ran a great race in the VRC Oaks. And we had plans to go through Sydney, and things just didn't sort of quite come up as well as we'd hoped. So we just had to sort of take a bit of a backward step and set her for the Carnival here. And she's really enjoyed the conditions up here. She's thrived, and I think there's still further improvement as she gets over further.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go the Roses, then we go the Oaks?
Yeah, that's the plan. She'll go through both of those, and I think there's, as I said, there's continued improvement from her.
She's obviously very tough as well. I mean, she had a fairly arduous sort of preparation last time in, and she's bounced back.
Yeah, she's a lovely big filly. There's plenty of size and strength to her, so we knew she would sustain a nice campaign, and just I think having had that grounding there in the spring, that sort of really helped bring her along and seasoned her up for what's hopefully going to be another successful campaign up here.
Does she get to say it Chris Muntz's too?
She does. Chris has been fabulous. Him and all the team there, they go out of their way to give us boxes and look after us. Their team chip in and help out, and we're thankful. Without them, we actually couldn't get up here, so they've been fantastic.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
All right, there is Adrian Bott. Let's have a chat to the winning jockey now, Adam Hieronymus. Your dad was the star of the show here three decades ago. Now it's you.
Yeah, that's right. So, very proud, obviously, for what Dad's achieved here, and to come up, and last time I was here, I was able to win a stakes race and to win another stakes race here at Caloundra is fantastic for me, and I'm sure Mum and Dad are at home and very happy.
Indeed. Tell us about this filly. She's so bold. She's so brave.
She is. She went fantastic first up, and she really deserved to win that race and just got pipped on the post. Took her a while to come back this preparation and get to the form that she's in now, and that's probably just off the back of last preparation. She tried so hard in some of those races and just took a little bit to get going, but she obviously loves to travel away. She's shown that when she went to Melbourne, she improved. She's come up here and run fantastic first up, and she looked fantastic in the yard. Gay and Adrian were happy as how she's been doing up here in Queensland, and big thanks to Juliet, who's been up here with the horses, and she told Gay today that it's probably out of all the horses that have travelled up here, it's done the best, and she looked glad in the yard.
And to have a turn of foot, we haven't seen a lot of that today, but she had a turn of foot on this track. Yeah,
she obviously liked the conditions. We were able to end up in a beautiful spot during the run without doing any work. And probably I didn't expect to be where I was, but she was happy, travelled great, got through the conditions, showed a good turn of foot at the top of the straight, and like last start, she was very strong late, so she's only going to improve again off that.
Bring on the Roses and the Oaks. Well done.
Definitely. Thank you.
It's bat out of hell. 1,000 metres, red lights. Set for a start. Gates are back and they're off and racing. Hardware Lane missed it. He came out second last. Hakai Maru, Hidden Wealth behind him. Flaming Conquest out wide left swiftly, but going through underneath Queen Assassin and Steady Ready. 2 lengths away, Situation Room. Then followed by Economics, You'll Be Missed. Hardware Lane's up to midfield now. 3 lengths away, Rubiquitous, Goldsborough, La Amigo, All That Pizzazz. Hidden Wealth back and wide. Hakai Maru and F Troopers last. A line of 3 at the home corner. 450 4.50 to go. Queen Assassin's gone through to narrowly lead. Steady Ready, 3 out is Flaming Conquest. Hardware Lane behind those, needed away clear shortly. Situation Room, Economics is running on. Ubiquitous, Goldsborough out wider. Steady Ready's the leader below the 200. Hardware Lane back to the inside, starting to drive hard now. All That Pizzazz coming very late. Hardware Lane's hit the front, 75 to go. All That Pizzazz, Situation Room for the Miners, but Hardware Lane's too good. Hardware Lane wins the bat out of hell from Situation Room. All That Pizzazz, Steady Ready, I think 4th. F Troop, Hidden Wealth, Hakai Maru, Economics, Flaming Conquest, Rubiquitous, Queen Assassin, a long way back with La Amigo, and then followed You'll Be Missed and Goldsborough.
Hardware Lane, very, very heavily backed all day. And he was second, third last out of the gates. He was rushed up. Gee, they went quickly in the early part. Queen Assassin and a couple of others were really hooning along, and Mark managed to get him up into a reasonably handy position. There was a little bit of trouble midway through the race, but he's been able to burst through and attack the line, and the plunge has come off. Situation Room getting through to get that second spot. All That Pizzazz third, and then Steady Ready, who was up there in that speed battle with Flaming Conquest, was the other one. So you can see the big white face there, looking for the gap. Mark Duplessis starting to wind him up. He gets busy on him now, and this is where he sets out after the leader. Steady Ready, shifting left there. He went out about 4 or 5 horses, and that obviously didn't do his chances any good over the final part, but he had a target. He had the winning post to see, Bernie, and they've got the cash and plenty of it by the sounds of it.
Yeah, how exciting was that to round out the day? That was an easy one for punters to find with a wet track record like that. Joel Chevalier joins us. He's in charge for the Johnny Smurden Galloper. What a run.
Yeah, it was super, wasn't it? And look, we were super happy with his last run, and coming into today, wet track, it looked a good race, and yeah, just so happy that it's...
I mean, he had quite a good preparation last time in, but he even put the writing on the wall in that trial before last start, didn't he?
Yeah, he just had a little jump out at home, and yeah, it was quite good. It was quite good. So no, look, where he goes from here, we're not sure. We'll just go home so he recovers and go from there.
I mean, there's no doubt, Johnny and yourself and the team, you've got him going better than ever.
Oh, look, we're just happy we got a nice horse to deal with, so hopefully we can win a couple more.
And that pink nose, how could you not love him?
Oh, there's a few in line that want him after his racing crew, that's for sure.
I bet there is. I know you're working. Go and enjoy the win.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, Joel Chevalier there doing a superb job. Well done, Johnny Smurden. If you're watching at home, this horse is just hitting his absolute peak career-wise. And what is he? He's a rising 6-year-old, so he's a 5-year-old. And that's his 8th win from 26 starts. And obviously that wet track record is phenomenal. So Mark Duplessis at his brilliant best, slow away, tracked Steady Ready through, then couldn't quite keep up with him, gave him that mid-race breather that he needed, and then just waited for the run to appear as it did late. And, of course, getting those toes in almost, to his fetlocks, he absolutely loved it. So we'll get Mark's thoughts after he gets off. He's a beautiful chestnut horse. Look at those flashy white legs. They're looking pretty muddy now, though. And this gorgeous face. He was on the toe today. He broke out in a bit of a sweat pre-race. But he's fit as a fiddle. He's very dirty now. But he is a beauty. What a day of racing. And what a day to end, too. Under the stars here at the Sunshine Coast. Everybody's had a fabulous day. I was looking for our chief steward, Josh Adams. How have the boys and girls played today?
Yeah, they're really well. The tracks really played well for a heavy 10 track. The jockeys played their part as well. They rode safe, so great day of racing.
Absolutely. Well done to you too.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Ben.
There he is, Josh Adams. Let's have a chat to Mark. He's got the punters, filled up the punters' pockets with cash here in the last. Well done. You can be the punter's pal today.
Yeah, I bet you I won't hear from him, though.
Unlikely.
If it had got beaten, I would have heard from them.
Very loudly.
First of all, just thanks very much to Donga Smurden. Been very good to me. I won this cup race for him a couple of years ago. and I thought I could win it again today, and this was my best ride, but no weight, good wet track form, although you could bring your best wet track horse here today and get beaten, but he was very good today.
It was a good ride because he can be slow out, and he was a little bit today. You were very quick into action to try and keep Steady Ready's back for the early part, and then you gave him that mid-race breather.
Yeah, my instructions were just give him a dig, let the speed go, but don't get too far away from being competitive. And I thought turning in, I'm just going to angle him straight towards Steady Ready, and then if she moves, I'll move the other way, but it all worked out very well.
Yeah, and you were able just to wait for that run to appear.
No weight on his back, very fit, strong horse, great wet track form. Only bad luck was really going to beat him today.
Great stuff, well done.
Thank you.